At our anniversary party, wife's sister shouted, "He's a complete failure!" while my wife said nothing. I got swift revenge, and by morning my phone was bombarded with their panicked messages. "Be me 29 Marcus Thompson. Need to get something off my chest after what happened this morning. Got married to my girl Claire last Friday. Kept the wedding modest but nice. Rented a venue in Sacramento. Around 90 people showed up. Claire looked absolutely stunning in her wedding dress. Everything was perfect until the wedding toast started. Some background info needed. Own my own custom motorcycle shop. Built it from nothing over the last 6 years. Not the fanciest job, but it's mine. Claire works as a research coordinator at the local hospital. We're not loaded, but we live comfortably. My mother-in-law, Victoria, though. She's always looked down on me. Hates that I work with bikes and didn't go to university. During the toasts, my best friend Diego finished his speech. Victoria grabbed the microphone. Had been drinking expensive wine all evening. Could tell by her face this wasn't going to be good. Claire squeezed my hand under the table. "I'd like to say something about our happy couple," Victoria announced. Her voice dripping with sarcasm. Entire room went dead quiet. You know, when Claire first brought Marcus home, I thought it was just a phase. I mean, really, a motorcycle mechanic? But here we are 3 years later, and my daughter is actually marrying him. People started shifting uncomfortably in their seats. Claire's sister, Lily, looked absolutely mortified. This poor boy thinks he can provide for my daughter, pathetic. Victoria's voice got louder. Claire had such potential. She could have married someone successful. Someone with a real career. Instead, she's settling for a grease monkey who probably can't even afford a house without a mortgage. Staying calm, but can feel my jaw clenching. Claire stands up so fast her chair falls backward. "How dare you!" Claire shouted. Marcus built his business from nothing. He owns his shop outright, and we just bought our house with the money he saved. He works harder than anyone I know, including you, Mom. All you do is sell overpriced houses and drink wine at lunch. Room erupts into chaos. Claire's dad, Thomas, who's divorced from Victoria, starts slow clapping. "Classic Victoria," he mutters loud enough for nearby tables to hear. Always making everything about status. Victoria wasn't done, though. Oh, please, his little bike shop. I drove past it yesterday. Barely any motorcycles there. Probably because people in town know better than to trust their vehicles to someone who learned from YouTube videos instead of proper schooling. Notice something weird. Several guests looking at their phones, whispering to each other. Diego catches my eye. Mouths, check your phone. Have 13 missed calls, all from different numbers, all within the last hour. You want to talk about my business, Victoria? Stand up slowly, keeping my voice steady. Funny you should mention it being empty yesterday. Know why? Because we were closed for my wedding weekend. But since you brought it up, how many of my customers have you been talking to? Because suddenly they're all calling me about concerns they've supposedly heard about my work. Victoria's face goes white as paper. Brittany, her best friend and real estate partner, suddenly finds her plate very interesting. Claire scrolling through her phone now, her face getting redder by the second. Mom, why are there posts in the neighborhood Facebook group questioning Marcus's certification? Posts from your account? I was just trying to protect you, Victoria stammers. He's going to drag you down to his level. Living paycheck to paycheck. Never advancing in life. Lily stands up next. Mom, stop! Everyone knows Marcus's shop is the most trusted in town. You're just mad because he refused to undervalue his house when you tried to be our realtor. Wedding photographer catching all of this. Good, want evidence? Victoria, say calmly. I've stayed quiet about a lot of things out of respect for Claire. But you just showed everyone exactly who you are. And now I don't feel the need to stay quiet anymore. Claire's cousin starts recording on his phone. Victoria notices and shrieks. Don't you dare film me. This is a private family matter. Private? Laugh at her words. Like those public Facebook posts you made about my business? Or the calls you've been making to my clients? Hold up my phone showing the missed calls. You've made this very public, Victoria. And now you get to deal with the consequences. Wedding continues after Victoria storms out, followed by a very apologetic Brittany. Rest of the night was actually amazing. People kept coming up to express their support. Claire's dad gave an impromptu toast about how proud he was to have me as a son-in-law. But this morning my phone exploded with messages. Turns out Victoria's been busy for weeks, systematically contacting my clients with concerns about my business. She even tried to get my shop's certification reviewed by making false complaints. Thing is, she has no idea what she started. I've built my reputation through hard work and honesty. She built hers through fake smiles and social climbing. Let's see which one lasts longer. Claire's fully on board after seeing those Facebook posts. Destroy her, babe, I'll help. Need to return some calls and start documenting everything. Victoria wants to play games with my livelihood. Game on. Thanks for all the support on my last post. A lot has happened since the wedding disaster. You guys were right. It wasn't just about one nasty comment. What I've discovered in the past week makes my blood boil. Quick recap for anyone who missed it. My mother-in-law Victoria stood up at our wedding reception, basically called me a broke loser who couldn't provide for her daughter Claire. I stayed quiet then, but my phone blew up with calls afterward. Well, now I know why. Yesterday I'm at my office going through emails. Diego walks in looking uncomfortable. Weird because this guy's usually the most laid-back person I know. He sits down and says, "Bro, we need to talk about your mother-in-law." Turns out Victoria's been going around town telling everyone my business is failing. But that's not even the worst part. She's been actively contacting my clients, warning them about financial irregularities in my company. Diego heard it from his cousin, who was about to sign a contract with us but backed out last minute. Feel my hands shaking as I open my laptop. Start checking my recent cancellations. 5 major contracts, all pulled out within the last month. All of them had dealt with Victoria's real estate agency for their properties. That's when it clicked. She's been using her position to sabotage me. Called Claire immediately. She was at work but came straight to my office. When I showed her the evidence, she went dead quiet. Then she pulled out her phone, started scrolling through her texts. "Look at this," she said. Shows me a group chat with her sister Lily. Victoria had been telling the entire family that I was secretly in debt, that I'd begged her for money, never happened, and that she was worried about Claire's future with me. Claire was furious. She immediately called her sister Lily on speaker. Lily broke down and admitted everything. Victoria had been planning this for months. She'd been spreading rumors about my business at every family gathering, every real estate meeting, every country club event. She even told Lily's fiancé to reconsider his investment in my company. We decided to confront Victoria at the weekly family dinner. Big mistake. The moment we walked in, I could tell she knew something was up. Claire didn't even wait for everyone to sit down. She just pulled out her phone, started playing a voice recording Lily had sent her. Victoria talking trash about me to a potential client. Victoria's face went from fake smile to rage in seconds. She started screaming about how she was protecting her daughter and how I was beneath their family. Claire shouted back that Victoria was just jealous because her own business was struggling while mine was growing. That's when Victoria dropped the bomb. She'd been collecting evidence of my shady business practices, threatened to expose me if we didn't end our marriage. I stood up slowly. The room went quiet. Looked Victoria straight in the eyes. "You really want to play this game? Because I promise you won't like how it ends." She sneered and said I was threatening her. Claire's dad, Thomas, who's usually super quiet, suddenly spoke up. "Victoria, you're making the same mistakes you made with me. Stop it." Victoria threw her wine glass at the wall and stormed out. On the drive home, Claire was shaking with anger. "End this," she said. "End her whole career if you have to. I'm done with her games." Spent all night making calls. Turns out Victoria's reputation in the real estate world isn't as spotless as she pretends. Her partner Brittany was especially interested in our conversation. Seems like Victoria's been keeping some interesting secrets from her too. This morning I registered a new business. By next month there's going to be a new real estate agency in town. Brittany's coming on board as my partner. We're going to take every client, every listing, every contract that Victoria thinks is safely hers. The best part? It's all perfectly legal. She wanted to play business? Let's play. I know this might seem petty to some people, but when someone tries to destroy everything you've built, you don't just roll over, you hit back harder. Claire's blocked her mom on everything. Lily's sending us all the dirt she has on Victoria's business practices. Even Thomas called to give me some interesting information about how Victoria operates. Those calls that blew up my phone after the wedding? Those were clients calling to warn me about what Victoria was saying. They're all coming back now, with signed statements about how she tried to interfere with our contracts. This is just the beginning. Victoria thinks she can bully us into submission. She has no idea what's coming. I've learned that sometimes the best revenge isn't some elaborate scheme. It's just giving someone enough rope to hang themselves with their own actions. Want to know what happened next? Well, karma really is something else. It's been 3 weeks since my last update. Watching Victoria's life unravel has been interesting. I promised Claire I wouldn't do anything illegal. And I didn't need to. Victoria's been doing a fantastic job of destroying herself. Remember how she stood up at our wedding and called me pathetic? Called me a poor boy who couldn't provide for her daughter? Well, guess who just lost their biggest client? Because they couldn't keep their mouth shut about other people's finances. It started small. Diego, who works in local advertising, mentioned something interesting. Victoria had been bad-mouthing me to anyone who would listen. At the Chamber of Commerce meetings, she kept telling people I was living off her daughter's money, and that my business was probably a front for something illegal. The irony? While she was running her mouth, I was quietly building relationships with the same people she was talking to. Then Lily came over last weekend. She was crying. Turns out Victoria had been using Lily's social security number to open credit cards. Since Lily was 18, Lily only found out when she tried to get a car loan. Claire was livid. We spent the whole weekend helping Lily file reports and clean up her credit. Lily's staying with us now. Victoria's been blowing up everyone's phones. But here's where it gets good. Brittany, Victoria's business partner of 15 years, came to my office yesterday. She'd found out Victoria had been skimming from their shared commissions. Not huge amounts, but enough to be noticeable. When Brittany finally checked their books, she was furious and wanted advice about dissolving their partnership. I didn't have to do anything except listen and point her toward a good accountant. The real estate community here isn't huge. Word spreads fast. 3 of their biggest listings have already jumped ship to other agents. Victoria doesn't know why yet, but she's been having screaming matches on her phone in public. Claire recorded one outside the grocery store, where Victoria was yelling about betrayal and ungrateful children. Claire's handling it better than I expected. When Victoria showed up at her lab yesterday, screaming about how we were poisoning the family against her, Claire just calmly walked her to the parking lot and told her, "Mom, you're having a mental break. Get help or don't contact me again." Thomas finally told us why he really left Victoria 8 years ago. Apparently, she'd been running the same credit card scam with his elderly mother's identity. He found out, forced her to pay it all back, and divorced her. He never told the kids because he didn't want them to hate their mother. Well, cat's out of the bag now. I did make one active move. I hired Brittany to handle the real estate side of my business expansion. She's actually fantastic at her job. When she's not under Victoria's thumb, we're opening 3 new locations next month. The same week, Victoria's office lease is up for renewal. The Chamber of Commerce meeting last night was interesting. Victoria stood up to make some announcement about local business ethics, probably aimed at me, but nobody was listening. People were literally turning their backs and having their own conversations. She finally stormed out screaming about how we'd all regret this and how she made this town what it is. Lily showed me Victoria's Facebook posts from this morning. She's writing these long, rambling paragraphs about betrayal and how ungrateful children will learn their lesson. She's also been posting weird, cryptic warnings about exposing the truth. Claire just laughs and says, "What truth? That she's terrible with money and worse with secrets?" I won't lie. Watching her implode is satisfying. But the best part? I haven't had to lift a finger. She's doing all the work herself. Every time she opens her mouth, she digs herself deeper. People are finally seeing what we've dealt with for years. Claire's extended family is divided. Half of them are calling us daily, begging us to forgive and forget. The other half are coming forward with their own Victoria stories. Turns out she's been burning bridges way longer than we knew. The wildest part? She still thinks she can fix this by just bullying everyone into submission. Like she always has. Yesterday, she sent a mass text to the entire family, threatening to expose everyone's secrets at the next family gathering. Claire responded with a screenshot of Lily's credit report and asked, "You mean secrets like this, Mom?" Lily's been thriving since she moved in with us. She's already found a better job. Now that she doesn't have Victoria constantly telling her she's not good enough, she's also started therapy, which is helping her process years of Victoria's manipulation. Brittany's taking over most of Victoria's old clients. Turns out a lot of them were just waiting for an excuse to switch. One of them told Brittany they stayed with Victoria out of fear. Rather than loyalty, She knew too much about their personal business and would make subtle threats about exposing their finances. I know this all sounds dramatic, but this is what happens when someone spends decades building their life on lies and manipulation. It only takes one crack for everything to start falling apart. Claire's been going through old family photos, trying to preserve the good memories. Before everything imploded, she found one from our wedding. Right before Victoria's little speech, everyone looked so happy. Claire says she wants to frame it, to remember the exact moment Mom lost control of everything. I'm not going to pretend I'm not enjoying this. But I'm also sad for Claire and Lily. They deserve a better mother than this. At least they have each other. And they're finally free from her manipulation. The family reunion is next month. Victoria's still insisting on hosting it, even though half the family has already said they won't come if she's there. Claire suggested we host it instead. Lily's excited about the idea. It would be her first family event, where she doesn't have to walk on eggshells. Final update time. First, thank you all for the support on my previous posts. A lot has happened in the past 2 weeks. Honestly, I'm still processing everything. But here it is. Quick recap for those who missed it. I'm Marcus, 29. Married to Claire, 25. My mother-in-law, Victoria, humiliated me at our wedding, calling me pathetic, saying I couldn't provide for her daughter. Then she tried to sabotage my business. Well, karma finally caught up with her, and I helped it along. Remember how I mentioned opening a competing business? Turns out Victoria had been cutting corners. With her real estate listings for years, she'd been photoshopping property photos, hiding major issues, and straight up lying to clients about property conditions. I knew this because 3 of her former clients came to me with horror stories, so I did what any pathetic son-in-law would do. I gave them my lawyer's number and helped them file formal complaints. But that was just the beginning. The real gold came from Brittany, Victoria's business partner. She showed up at my office last Thursday, looking nervous. Turned out Victoria had been forging her signature on documents and pocketing commission splits. Brittany had proof, lots of it. She was done covering for Victoria's schemes. I sat there listening to Brittany spill everything while recording it. One-party consent state, completely legal. The best part? Victoria had no idea her perfect little world was about to implode. Lily called the next day. She was in tears, saying Victoria had been bad-mouthing me to every potential client in our area, telling them I was running a scam business. Lily had screenshots of texts where Victoria literally told people not to work with me. Because I was under investigation, I wasn't. That was the last straw. I compiled everything. The forged documents, the client complaints, the text screenshots, Brittany's statement, emailed it all to every real estate agent in Victoria's network. CC at the state licensing board, too. Then I waited. It took exactly 47 minutes for my phone to explode. Victoria burst into my office around noon, screaming about how I was trying to destroy her. The whole building could hear her. I just sat there smiling, remembering her words at my wedding. When she finally ran out of steam, I played the recording from my wedding speech. You know, the one where she called me pathetic. Quite the performance, Victoria, I said. Almost as good as today's. She went pale. You set me up. I leaned forward. No, Victoria, you did this to yourself. I just made sure everyone saw who you really are. That's when Claire walked in. Perfect timing as always. She'd brought lunch, acting surprised to see her mother there. Oh, Mom, I didn't expect to see you here. Having a nice chat with my pathetic husband? Victoria turned to Claire, trying to play the victim. Your husband is trying to ruin me. He's turned everyone against me. Claire just laughed. That same laugh from our wedding? No, Mom, you did that yourself. Every lie, every scheme, every nasty comment about Marcus. That was all you. We just made sure the truth came out. Then Claire dropped the bomb. By the way, Dad called. He saw the email. Says this explains why client complaints kept disappearing. When he was still your business partner, he's filing an amended divorce settlement. Victoria collapsed into a chair, all the fight draining out of her. You can't do this to me. I'm your mother. Watch me, Claire said. You should have thought about that before trying to ruin my marriage. The fallout was beautiful. The licensing board launched an investigation. Her reputation in shambles. Her business clients fleeing in droves. Her perfect image in the community shattered. But here's the best part. Lily finally stood up to her too. told Victoria she was moving in with us while she finishes college. Victoria lost it, screaming about family loyalty. Lily just said, "Yeah, Mom, family loyalty. Like when you tried to destroy my sister's marriage." It's been 2 weeks. Victoria's license is suspended pending investigation. Her business partner, Brittany, took half their clients. The other half? They're coming to me. Turns out being pathetic doesn't matter. When you run an honest business, Thomas called yesterday. He was laughing. I always knew someone would expose her eventually. I just didn't think it would be my son-in-law. Good job, kid. The icing on the cake? Victoria's precious country club friends got the email too. She's been asked to take a break from their weekly gatherings. Apparently, they don't want to associate with someone under investigation. Last night, Claire and I celebrated with takeout and wine. On our back porch, Lily joined us, finally relaxed after years of walking on eggshells around her mother. She asked if we felt bad about what happened to Victoria. Claire looked at me, then at Lily. Mom made her choices. She chose to be cruel, to lie, to hurt people. Now she's facing the consequences. That's not our fault. Couldn't have said it better myself. So here we are. My business is thriving. Claire's research is going great. Lily is flourishing away from her mother's influence. And Victoria? Well, she's learning that karma hits harder. When you help it along, to everyone who said I should have confronted her at the wedding, this was better, much better.